Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review. This is actually my first ever one for Lucas. Lucas is actually a very low GM Mercy. So we're just going to be basically going through today, talking through kind of maybe usually some little tiny things that we can improve upon. But overall it's going to be pretty much a very high VOD. So if you're looking for any of high Mercy gameplay, you know, you're more than welcome to come and chill out here as you'll probably find some. So we've got the lifeguard skin on. It's really cute, along with the cute new weapon charm and stuff. I've seen a few of these now, and it looks so much better without the golden gun as well. It's so cute. Once again, you can get your own VOD views. So you offer 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch. You essentially just need to come onto my stream, and you could just lurk, save up the 5,000 channel points, and I do the VODs on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. So yeah, so we're just gonna get straight into the VOD basically. So we have an amazing damage boostable comp, alright? We have Ashe and Soldier. Obviously we want to, what's it called? What's a damage boost whoever's taking the aggressive angle. This will normally be Ashe for the majority of the time because of the long distance, but if the fight starts to get a little bit closer, obviously we switch to Soldier. Orisa's really good for any kind of up close. Specifically, she manages to corner someone, or she's playing very brawly and up close to people. She's great for that damage boost. And Bap is pretty much a third DPS anyways, so you can pretty much damage boost everything in this team comp. It's really great. Nice. I think my only thing already is I would be playing more here. The reasoning is because already where you're stood, you can see where the Widow can peek up and she can see you. You just essentially want to play here instead. But really good pick from your Ashe already, which is great. Obviously, great place to start off. You essentially just want to play yeah, basically kind of where you are right now. Just be careful while you're here. Just kind of remember that your soldiers end up taking a bit of damage, so it's all good. Play quiet. Just play a little bit more further back. Okay. Ooh. You got saved by that lamp really well, okay? Let's just quickly take a little bit of a rewind, alright? So, I like how more where you're playing right now. You just, at this point, you have to kind of turn for your soldier and just realize he's taking a bit of damage. So maybe just quickly flick the beam onto him while your Ashe is making this rotation. Because right now your Ashe will basically want to rotate to this high ground. So you essentially will want to basically cancel your GA either before or after this window. I normally like to cancel it just after no, actually maybe more this kind of forward bit. Just purely so you're not obviously, you know, really close. But really nice. And then as soon as your Ashe gets taken out like this, you just leave it. You've already taken 50 HP of damage from this Genji. You're absolutely not going to do anything. You just need to basically back off, and then you can ask for the lamp later on if you want it. Or you need to communicate that a little bit quicker, being I need that lamp, alright? But other than that, you get the lamp, which is really great, and we back off, which is really nice. Love the damage boost. Love the damage boost with Orisa. You cannot follow that. Really, okay. We don't drop forward here. Okay. This, because you know this Widow is here and got this sideline, right? You know obviously the Widow's there. Sorry, the Orisa's drop down. Let your Bap deal with this. You still need to basically keep control of this high ground with your DPS, because it will make it so difficult for all these guys to push in. Alright? So you just leave your Bap to deal with the Orisa. They can do their own thing on cart, because the issue is that these two people, especially on Dorado, it is so hard to take these guys off the high ground, especially when they have a Mercy with them, right? So you essentially just want to kind of stand probably here, and you can damage boost both of these people here. Obviously, if Ashe goes to reload, you can switch to Soldier. If Soldier's reloading, switch to Ashe. Normally, for the majority of the time, you want to damage boost Ashe here, alright? But we'll keep going. So we're backing off, which is fine. Just take the damage boost on straight away, which is really great. Do not super jump up. You see why? Because you just took that damage. That could have been a headshot very easily, alright? As soon as you end up getting to this Ashe, you can simply just cancel your GA, because what you end up kind of flinging yourself into here, just cancel your GA as soon as you get down here kind of thing, because then you can obviously help heal her up down here basically. We do have this Moira here, so I want to see how we react to the Moira. So obviously we see Moira. Go straight to the health pack room. Keep damage boosting her. Okay. Ashe is your savior at this point, and she will very easily kill that, what's it called? The Moira. Oh, we're going in. Okay. We've got ourselves a little bit split. Okay, this is fine because he did end up going after you. The issue that I have with it is that you should know, especially when you've, what's it called? when you went to go and use the health pack, you knew it wasn't there. You knew it was about halfway, okay? You then have to think, okay, that time has passed. That Genji is now no longer going to be 1 HP and waiting for the health pack. The health pack is going to be there. So you just have to just back out with your Ashe. Should have left my DPS. I really remember that. Yeah, it's alright. I say it's all a learning process. Same thing with the super jump. They still have that Widow. Try not to. Just play this cover. A really good spot that you can stand as Mercy is here. On this point, you can stand here. You are completely out of LOS of anything because what your head hitbox is about here. So unless if they start climbing the stairs like they're at this blue building, sorry, the yellow building over here, you can literally just stand here, and it kind of like it provides you with like a little bit of cover. You can also crouch down if like you really want to. It's a really good spot if your DPS are playing very off to this side kind of thing. Obviously, if they're playing like more like over here, then you're best like playing over here like you were. But yeah, we'll keep going. Obviously, we know that Widow's still there. I'll just top up Bap here. Just make sure you top up your Bap like when it's like a little bit weak, just so you can get straight back into things. Oh, go on, you get it, you get it. Take this out. Nice. Just when you do that res, make sure you do it out in a little bit more cover. Lovely GA away. Ooh, got a blade. Go on, bait it. No, oh. Right. What you should have done here is you can, so obviously it's great that you like were helping your Ashe and stuff like that, obviously with it. What you can do is you can like kind of half jump off to try and like bait him out to come and slash you over here, and you just do a GA instead, and you can kind of curve it so you end up like down over here instead, or you can do it like straight like down the corridor and then jump out. It's up to you. All right, because you falling like over here is limiting your options. You want to basically kind of like fall like a little bit and then gone. But yeah, but it's all good. To be fair, the blade was very like, what's it called? The blade was very like focused on you, so it's all good. Let up seeing what's happening. So Yurissa's popped ult. Nice ult from her, to be fair. And yeah, so your team actually ended up winning it, which is really great. But it's all good. Back with your Ashe, which is really great. We need to have Valk as well, so I want to see like when you end up basically using your Valk, because obviously we've used Baptisal and we've used what's it called? The Orisa ults, Bap thing. Yeah, we've done that. Same thing with the super jump again. You don't want to do that. Like even though like they've switched off that Widow, they still have that Hanzo. You going up into the air makes you still very vulnerable to people. So just try not to when you get like whenever you do like long GAs like this and get into people, just cancel it. Alright, we'll keep going. So same thing, lovely beam prioritization with the Ashe. You can res that. Perfect. And GA straight away, that's really great. You can just ping the cart if you need to. Nice Valk here. Lovely. Ooh, okay, let's rewind this back a bit. Because I like the Valk timing. I just feel as though the prioritization was a little bit off, alright? So, we go in res, this is perfect. While you're doing this res, you can move about in the res, so it means that you can turn around to quickly get away, like as quick as you can. So if I was to res this, I would start the res like I am now, and as I'm doing this, I'll be flicking this way, so I can already know who I've got to GA away from. Because Mercy is so vulnerable in this res state, and it's very easy to kind of like get her picked up and stuff like that. Especially when people like realize, like these guys, oh my gosh, she's doing the res, and they'll start like, coming after you. Make sure you flip around so you know where basically your exit is already, okay? Really great though. Obviously we're ping that they're on the cart. That's really great. Okay, in this scenario you do not need to go to point with them. You can just stay up here with, you can basically kind of like play here. The reasoning is because you can stay with your Ashe, you still has control of this high ground, and you could also like help like down here with like the soldier and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna play actually this 3D mode for a sec, so we'll see what happens. So your Ashe is still here. She still has like a really good vantage point because she's trying to obviously get people that are still like around here and everything. We end up Valkying, which is perfect, do not get me wrong. Helping everyone on point. Okay, I would have, like, as soon as you know this Zarya is backing off, these two people cannot do anything now. So now you need to switch your priority to helping your Ashe and everyone for a second, right? Which I think is what you kind of end up doing in a second. Obviously, Ashe gets caught out with the Kitsune Rush. It might have been better if you were, like, with them, like, a little bit sooner. That's fine, we end up, obviously, with the soldier. Oh, okay, so it's as we made that. Okay, that's fine. I was seeing like whether we could ever like to save the Bap, but honestly, I feel as though you did the right thing now going like kind of with the soldier. I'd follow the visor though. This was the wrong decision afterwards though. Like, we should have just gone with the visor. The reason is because the visor will basically flank from behind with your damage boost. Your Orisa is still very, very healthy. Ooh. Okay, what are we doing? I feel as though we're cooking at something right now. What are we doing? Okay, let's rewind this. I want to talk about this entire thing, right? I'm going to go back even further. Okay. So, res, we already talked about, that's fine. Went back, that's fine. Already talked about how I would stay with the DPS rather than going with the team. We Valk. Okay, as soon as you see this Zarya is backing off, you just go, I did not cook in, no. Alright, this is the point, okay? As soon as you see this Bap die, and your Orisa's like still really, really healthy, you have to think to yourself, okay, what can we do here? We can still damage this visor. Because these guys, I don't think know that like he's behind with this visor. So, you drop behind with him using your Valk still, and you can kind of sort of play still, so it's like around this window. Obviously, I know the Hanzo's here. You could maybe like as well like play like up here. The reason is because, in fact, yeah, probably here's like the best option. So it means that when your soldier drops to the visor, you can still damage boost it, but you can also keep an eye on your Orisa. Your Orisa has so much survivability, especially with like Fortify, that kind of stuff, that she can essentially just stay alive throughout this entire thing. So you could basically just hover above this high ground, damage boost this visor, but also keep an eye on your Orisa on the just in case, alright? We don't end up doing that, we end up basically peeling for the Orisa, and then slowly like, oh, looks like we just go help soldier. I don't mind the backup here, and obviously you realise the Hanzo's there, Valk's running out. We now just need to escape. There is no way that we're going to live this, right? You essentially just need to kind of help your Orisa out to get out, or we like try and stabilize the cart for people to get back, or we just die, or we just leave, okay? We end up making this weird decision of essentially, we don't put our beam, well we put our beam on the Orisa. She doesn't get a bit weak. Right, this is the part where it starts to go wrong. You instead start to walk towards the enemies. What you want to do is when your Orisa's backing off, you want to try and get a GA onto her and try and GA either to the back of this fountain or back here, depending on how much GA charge you build up, right? Because then it means you can still try and keep her up whilst also trying to obviously like back off to the rest of your team. Alright, you end up actually walking into the team. Like, good movement here, do not get me wrong, but this is like abandoning your Orisa. Like, you have now essentially abandoned your Orisa, who's got her fortified and everything up, so she's got even more health. And then you end up being chased down by everyone, because everyone's like, oh, the Mercy's like behind us, right? So you end up getting picked off here, and then your Orisa getting picked off right now. Which is literally, if you managed to keep your Orisa up for this entire time, it would have kept up. It would have kept her up for these guys to come back. It would give Bap, I mean, Bab's used his lamp over here. Do not ask me why. But if Bap had his lamp here, for example, he could then lay down the lamp for you guys. We managed to stabilize with the Orisa, and then you could go back in with this team fight, and you'd have your Bob ready, and I think that's probably about it, to be fair. You'll probably like be able maybe to build up an Orisa up by the end of it. You just have to be careful of grab, basically. Alright? But it's fine. We learn from that. That's all good. So we end up basically kind of everyone, I think pretty much just get rolled over. We sadly wasted Bob as well because we didn't get it in time. But it's all good. Can't get Ash out. Nice, I'm glad how you've obviously registered that can't get anyone out. Really nice. We want to do a GA like that. Pressure crouch before you do, because it means that it gets you a little bit closer to the ground before you do so. Oh, that's just a mess up with the GA. Nice res though in the cover. Really, really nice. You don't want to GA like straight up like that though. Let's go for the high ground. Love how you go in. Be a soldier, really, really nice. Ping him. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like everyone just ignored the Hanzo that's like, what's it called? Not there. Like, just climbed up. You end up getting him though, which is like really, really great. Really nice movements get up. Really nice ping as well to tell that you can't res. Really, really nice. Helping Ash, which is fine. This is probably like one of the worst high grounds to hold as me on Mercy, because I find it so hard to find like really good cover. Like the only time you're really gonna get good cover is when they start to back off really fully, and then you can like play in here. You're doing a really good job though of like hugging this wall right now though with her. But it's fine. Nice heals up on the Ashe though. Lovely. Same thing again, just let them do that. Yeah, you don't need to be here. Same thing again, right? You have this Bap that's like ready to come and like help everyone. You literally just need to stand up on the high ground and keep that high ground like pressure with your Ashe and everyone. That's fine. Head up with your Ashe. Oh, okay. Messed up the GA a bit, but that's fine. Nice. As you see the Moira, really nice focus on the bats there. That Kiri is really, really good, man. We need to help Soldier though. Nice, getting him out. We need to back away as soon as we can though. Really nice. This GA, I would have done it as a directional one up onto the higher ground, up here. The reasoning is because it means that if this Moira decides to like come and attack you and stuff, then you, you can basically like GA up onto this high ground here, and then you can like pocket from up here. It also gives you like a better sideline of like the entire entire thing. But yeah, we'll keep going. We about. Ooh, okay. I want to rewind this because I've kind of like lost momentum with the fight. So what happens? Okay, so your Ashe overextends. That's fine. She should be holding high ground, so that's not your fault. We need to just back out a little bit sooner there. Love how you rotated to Ramatcha though there. Really, really good. That's where I would have done the angled GA. And then as soon as I would have done the angled GA, that's when I would have popped Valk. I feel as though we popped it a little bit too, like, soon. I essentially just rotated around and just pops it straight away. It means then that you can help this Bap if you need to, and you also can damage this Ramatcha ult, whilst being in the very safe cover of being over here, and also flicking to your Soldier if you need to, right? Bap ends up getting picked up as you pop the Valk, which is really annoying. Because when you pop Valk, it breaks beams, which is one of the most, like, annoying things in the entire world. But it's fine. We'll keep on seeing what ends up happening. So obviously we notice he's there. Very nice res. Going back to Ramatcha, just go help him, that's fine. Just try to fling yourself really out in the open like that, just in case if people are still main. Love how you're just looking out for people right now. And then you just need to go basically hold with the Ashe again up on the high ground. So overall, the battle was just a little bit late, but apart from that, can't really, you know, say anything bad about it. Well, once your Ashe kind of backs off, like, to here, you can actually play in this room a little bit more. It means that if people start to come up and challenge it, you can stick the beam on, and then you can, like, basically, you can do, like, a mini wall bounce, where it's, like, you can just GA into here, and then not GA, but, like, you bring yourself in here with the beam, and then you can use a GA on this wall, which kind of keeps you kind of connected to her and stuff like that, but it also means that you can play, I mean, Bap and Honest 5 Addictions, play healing the tank. So, kind of put yourself into that mindset, with you have to basically kind of put yourself into that mindset of, I'm not playing that character like someone else is. So you have to basically do the opposite of what you would do kind of thing. So you should then essentially go and help your DPS. See that Soldier's being attacked, which is really, really nice that you spotted for that. I would have just, like, slingshot my way through there. Okay. This is a bit messy movement. This is nice, though. Stay up on the high, though. Okay. I want to kind of talk throughout this entire... Really nice here, though. This is real... Oh, it still isn't, like, tickling you, sadly. Okay. I want to kind of go back just to kind of talk about what we could do differently here, alright? I love how you go and help, but this backwards GA, like, kind of here, is putting you at risk to this Orisa, and it also isn't helping your case, basically, with these guys, right? What you essentially want to do is you want to kind of slingshot yourself through, instead of, like, hanging about here, right? And then you have to realize, okay, well, the Moira's still here, so what can we do? You'll have to basically just hide in this corner kind of here to try and keep out of LOS of, like, everyone. You're sadly not going to, but yeah. Okay, then you have to realize that he's still, like, going in. At this point, this is the point where I love this super jump upwards that you do in a second. This is really, really nice. But do this super jump onto the high ground over here, because this blocks out a lot more than those stairs, okay? So this super jump is perfect. I love it. Just go onto the high ground to use it, right? Because then you going onto this high ground and also damage boosting here as well would really help get rid of this Moira, because I feel as though we've had a little bit of addiction here of, like, just holding the blue beam. Sorry, holding the yellow beam even. Put the blue beam on at this point, right? Blue beam. Like, he is full HP. Blue beam. and just honestly just stay up on this high ground. You can literally come all the way over to, I think probably like here on this like flower bed. If you crouch down here, I don't think she can hit you. It would be better if you ended up like over here. The only issue is that you end up like with your back towards all these guys and stuff like that. But you said just have to like just damage boost your soldier here, because it'll end up doing more damage to this Moira, and because obviously she builds up the healing during coalescence as well, which you don't want her to, then yeah. So she ends up like getting you. I love this rotation up until this high ground and stuff. Just damage boost again. This entire time like we've been healing. We just need to flick on that you just need to flick on that damage boost some more. Alright, I think Overwatch ends up dying and we end up losing the fight. At that point you need to just change spawns. Yep, nice. Really glad that you realised that you have to. I was like, if you don't like change spawns here, then what's it called? I have addiction to making them full health before damage boost. Don't, like, get out of that habit, I'm gonna be honest, right? The reasoning is because, unless if they're facing someone that has a one shot, then it's very unlikely that, what's it called, that you need to, like, have them full HP. Did Moira go play for that as well? Oh my gosh, okay. But yeah, like for example, okay, when you're 1v1 in Moira does so little damage, but she does obviously a lot like over time. It means that with Moiras you can like flick on that damage boost beam as much as you can, kind of thing. And also remember, Soldier still has like heal pad and stuff as well if he like desperately needs it. But you essentially can just flick on that damage boost as much as you can. It's a bit different with, say he was 1v1ing a Widow, for example, because Widow obviously can headshot him like and just take his head off, kind of thing. So obviously at that point you want to get him up to that full threshold, and then, you know, then you want to damage boost and stuff. But anyway, so we end up getting back to Ashe, which is really, really great. Don't GA over here. GA into here. The reasoning is because if you GA over to this side, don't go wrong, like it's good cover and everything. But someone can very easily just come up these stairs, like for example, the Genji, and just go like shuriken, slash, and then you're dead. Whereas if you play over here, you has to basically walk into your team before he can go and get to you. It also gives you the opportunity to GA out to these people, and then like rotate around here to get away from that Genji if he ever comes up there. Alright? So just play from that little health pack room. Plus you got the little health pack as well, which is like really, really nice. So just play over there instead. It's a lot like a better place to hold. Use heal about. Same thing with the super jumps. Don't use super jump there. Lovely damage boost though, cannot fault that. That's really, really good. Nice positioning here. Okay, instead of doing these little like micro like super jumps upwards, you can just do cancel GAs here. So all you have to do is essentially just start yourself over here, and then all you have to do is basically like GA yourself forward to this Ashe. But when you get to about this distance, just cancel your GA and just let yourself kind of use your angelic descent or fall backwards, and just keep on doing this back and forth over here just to keep up with your Ashe. Because the like you kind of doing these like mini super jump upwards is not only putting yourself in LOS of all these guys, but it's also increasing your GA cooldown. You want to have that GA cooldown as short as you can for the majority of the time, and you could do that by cancelling your GA or just letting it play out for its like fullest. Obviously you don't want it to play out to its fullest because you'll end up being stood up on this high ground, random Hanzo arrow can just come at you. So you just want to basically be cancelling it just below this kind of like platform and let yourself kind of fly back with your angelic descent. How do you cancel it? So it depends on what angelic descent, and GA setting you have on. If you have it so you have to hold GA for the entirety of the duration, then you just let go of it. If you have it so you press it and it just goes ahead. If you press it again, it cancels it. I have it so it's like I have to press it again to cancel it. But it depends on like what setting you have on. But that essentially just cancels the GA like mid-flight basically. So yeah, anyways, we'll keep on going back to you. Keep on looking at your POV. So obviously last rotation here again. Your soldier's pretty much like kind of okay. I think we might be able to help. I don't think we get him out, but you could at least like attempt to help him here. All right. Let me just quickly go back a bit because I just want to talk about it. So that's fine. Obviously same with Ashe and everything. Obviously here's where I was talking about the GA cancels and stuff, which is fine. Okay. It's a bit of a rotating round, which is fine. Okay. At this point, instead of doing just like another GA out, try and come over to this platform to kind of realize that your soldier's in trouble. Now, with the DPS that they have, it's really lucky that they don't have like a hit scan as such. Like, sure, they have a Rissa, but they don't have anything that's gonna like be able to track you, like a soldier, for example, like an Ashe. So you can actually get in and probably help the soldier out. I don't know whether you get him out because obviously it's more like a hindsight kind of thing, but you can definitely get in to come and help. So as you're kind of like looking at these three, also try to pay attention to the rest of your team. Obviously, this being your soldier down here. So you, instead of just doing this like 4G out, try and come back onto this platform. And then you can then use that GA to come and help your soldier. And like maybe like try and get him out. This, all you have to do is basically just like kind of like hug this corner kind of bit. And then if you just end up, if the situation as you get down there seems a bit dire, just wait a second again and you can go straight back up to these guys. But it's just like the thought that counts with these kind of things, alright? So I would have gone in to go and help him. Obviously I don't know whether he gets out or not. Like Bap tried his best with the healing, but that's fine. As it gets in the bob, that's fine. We're now pushing forward. It just seems like that you've done the very stereotypical thing. Oh, okay, we've abandoned the Ashe. Okay. We've done the very stereotypical thing here of like playing with one person, having that as the only person I can damage boost, okay? Which I feel as though very much showed throughout this entire sequence here, where it's like I could only be with my Ashe and I could only push forward with my Ashe, right? Remember that everyone is a good damage boost target. Obviously, you're going to have ones that you prefer, like for example your Ashe for the majority of the time, but don't abandon everyone else just to fully keep on that one singular person, okay? Be sure to share that blue beam around with everyone, because if you're sharing the blue beam around with everyone and getting as much damage boost out as you can, then it's definitely 100% going to be like, you will do more as like a Mercy basically, because you can damage boost like every single attack angle kind of thing, rather than just one singular one. Obviously there are certain like scenario stuff where you have to push with like one singular person, but yeah. But the majority of the time when you're like this, you can balance it out with people. Alright, so we know they're going to be coming through this chokehold here, right? We can just drop back and just play here and just jiggle peek this if we want to. We can, if the Ramattra pushes up a bit more, we can play in this room a little bit more. It's just because your Ramatra's backed off so much that it makes it difficult to play here. But I think it's nice that you're playing back here. It's just you playing directly back here gives you really bad LOS of like the Kiriko. If you play back here, if you accidentally get hit by one kunai, that's fine. Just sit back, let yourself regen, and go back in to go and help. But whereas if you were stood here and you get hit with a kunai, you'll be like, oh my gosh, like panic, 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 and then bam, she'll already hit you with another one before you can get into that cover. So just try already, play in that cover, and just jiggle peek this like this, okay? But we'll keep going. See what ends up happening. Yeah, so like how you're doing now, basically, but you need to play it a little bit more. And if you want to step out of that area, then you need to GA out. Especially because this Kiriko has already like assassinated like a few people with the damage boost and stuff. Sorry, with the kunais and stuff. You can press. Yep, nice. Damage boost. Ooh, okay, we get the Glock out. Nice, fair enough. You just need to damage boost that Ramattra a little bit more. But I like the little Glock uses at the end. It was really, really good. Alright, so, Lucas, overall, positioning is quite okay. There were obviously, I feel as though you've got kind of the general gist of where you should be, but it's just about kind of amending that positioning to make it a bit better. Make it a bit more kind of like out of the way and a bit more like safer for you. So there's that. I feel as though reses have been fine so far. I think we've only had like 1 or 2, which is great. I love how you check for the Sombra as well before you, before obviously you go on res, which is really, really good. With damage boost, we need to obviously try and like damage boost when people are below, like, not so much like, excuse me, not so much like critical, but more like if they're losing between half and full HP, try and stick that damage boost onto them. And then my final thing is try to not just kind of tunnel vision on one singular person and be like, this is my be end and you know, what am I trying to say? Like, be all and end all. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Try not to have it so it's just I have to damage boost this one singular person. This is all I have to do, right? Specifically when you have comps where people aren't going around and like, you know, flanking as much as they are. Try to damage boost as much as you can when people are like in a group like that, if you get me. Just wait, if you thought that was a Glock, okay. I feel as though I'm going to see a lot of Glock uses in a second then, which is fair enough. Alright, so we've changed the comp a little bit. This time it's fine if you end up staying with your Echo a bit more. The reason is because you don't really have to damage that blue beam, so balance that blue beam anymore, because obviously you have a Tracer. Tracer doesn't synergize very well with, what's it called? Mercy at all. Really nice rotation. This rotation though needs to be an angled GA. So I love how obviously you use these guys to get up. The issue is don't just press the crouch button to stay yourself upwards. The reason is because if this Ashe was still on this high ground, which she has actually rotated. Oh no, she's on this one. Is she on this one? Where's the Ashe? I swear she was like shooting at you. Am I blind? Where is she? She's behind you? Okay. That's fine. So what normally happens, not in this scenario, normally the Ashes will hold this high ground or this high ground, like yours was, right? So if your Echo ends up on this rooftop here, you either A, wait for her to re-peak again, and then, because normally what happens is Echo will like fly up and then will do like some spam damage, and then she will, what's it called? She will then basically go in with like a little glide ability, and then be like, brr, sticky bombs, and then focus beam, like, like, I don't know, I'm trying to do sound effects for them. So at that point, you can essentially just stay down, and this is a point where you can just damage boost someone else. You can just sit here and just damage boost your Marcher if you need to, behind the shield, and then you can essentially wait for your Echo to rotate, and then you can go and damage boost in. But you don't want to basically super jump upwards like you have. If you want to go up, then you have to use an angled GA, which you did really nicely, where obviously you GA to these people, but then you just did a straight GA up, which puts you in very much of a risk to these people. If you want to get up, you do an angled GA, like you basically get yourself ready, angle yourself up, and then you essentially just want to, as soon as you can, get yourself crouched under this cover so you're out of LOS of everyone. Alright, but we'll keep going. Because it ended up being cut off again, which is fine. We end up realizing the Ashe is behind, really nice use of cover. Just follow your Echo here. Okay. Okay, let's rewind this. I want to see this kind of like from your Echo's point of view, if you get me. Because I think at this point you should have, just followed your, followed your Echo. Alright, so that should have been angled GA, but that's fine. At this point, we just go and help. Okay, we notice the Ashe is behind. That's great. We super jump up and out of the way, which is perfect. At this point, leave your Bap, because the Ashe is left, right? So you can literally just go in and just go and like help your Echo at this point. Go in with her, alright? She will then drop, which is fine. You can then basically drop behind this cover here, and then you can just jiggle peek this Bap if you need to, if he ends up getting set on fire or ends up getting focused by the Ashe that's currently flanking from behind. Instead, you end up basically getting picked off because you end up lurking about for too long, and you know this Ashe is going to re-peek from there. And then we get into this nice piece of cover, which is great. This is fine for now. You should honestly just stay crouched down behind this payload and stay with your Echo. Wait for the Echo to use a glide again to go in for like a mini dive with like her stickies and stuff like that. And if you need to, you can obviously peel for your Bap here. Because you going back into here is putting yourself back into LOS of this Ashe, just so you can get this piece of cover. When in reality, you could just use this cover over here. Alright? That's fine, we'll keep going. So we end up going into this cover and just seeing what you're going to do in a second. So we do end up turning around, which is great. Love the healing on the, what's it called? The Echo. It's just the same thing again. As soon as you get above that kind of like critical, like, you know the Ashe is like running away. At that point, you know your Echo is not going to take any more damage. Stick that blue beam on. Sorry everyone, I think the stream kind of like lagged out just for a second. I don't know obviously where it like kind of lagged to, but we're just talking about how it was really good that obviously we tops up the Marcher before the Echo basically pushed out. So really glad that we're doing this, and obviously we're going on to the Echo, which is really nice. Love the use of cover. The issue is if you ever get disconnected from your main blue beam target, like honestly do not panic. Like especially if they go and like cut LOS of you and stuff like that, just do not panic. Stay exactly where you are. Like, you're rotating like this, like, just walking across, especially if they say it had the hit scan or something like that, like, if this Ashe was still alive and up here, this is going to get you killed. So just stay here, and if your Echo, like, obviously your Echo kind of, like, goes in and then walks around this payload, let her do it. Like, she's not going to die for that 1 second that you end up leaving her, and then what she'll probably end up doing is she'll probably end up, like, using her glide or, like, basically, like, moving around to get back to you. So you don't really need to. Alright, this is a bad rotation. Which I feel as though kind of comes from you like panicking before, right? You never ever want to GA in front of your tank and in front of like into the enemy team, right? So literally what you want to do is let's quickly rewind it because I just want to show you like what what I would do, right? So this is fine, obviously this pick. This is obviously where I was saying that it was really good that you were healing the Ram. Right, this Echo. So she flies in. This is really good damage boost. Keep damage boosting her. It doesn't matter if she loses a tiny bit of HP here. Keep damage boosting her, right? As soon as she leaves you like this, that is fine. Just stay here. Stay and damage boost someone else. You can, there is two very good other potential damage boost opportunities here. It isn't like the be all and end all about this Echo, right? So just stay here. Damage boost these guys. As soon as Echo like re-peaks you, you can then basically just grab hold of her and you can just stay here in the safety of like this cute little like area, right? This does like stops you from making this weird rotation over into the enemies. If you needed to rotate, it would have probably been best to maybe like quickly like super jump up to here and then as soon as you could like drop back down and round here. But you're making your life 10 times more difficult when you can literally just stand here. Okay? So to make this bad rotation, we end up, I think it was just basically getting killed off. Obviously we didn't like try to use our cover and we just ended up getting picked off because we take too much damage during that rotation, alright? So just remember, it's not the, like, if you end up being disconnected from your Echo for like 1 second, it is not the be all and end all. Find someone else to damage this for a bit until you can get back to either safety with them or if they want to like go and re-dive someone. Okay, so we're going help our Bap, which is nice. Okay, we should have juggled the beams a bit there. Where it's obviously we heal up Bap a little bit and then we go and heal up the Ram to try and get him out. The reason is because as soon as you get that Bap above half HP and he's very much in that kind of safety cover, then we can start to juggle the beams between the two to make sure obviously if anyone comes and like attacks the Bap, but it also means you can get that Remarcher out really, really safely. Same thing again where I'd just be looking to go with your Echo here. Like I know obviously your Ashe is taking this flank and stuff. Really nice that you've rotated here by the way. It's the same thing again. You know that she's going to be there, so don't peek. Yeah, you end up dying because of it. Yeah, so you know the Echo, you know the Ashe is there. Just rotate because of it. Like just be like, I know the Ashe is there. Just spare your life and don't worry about anyone else, and just walk away from it, knowing that she's there. All right. So we end up being AFK for like just a little bit of a second. I don't really know why. Your team's getting picks, but it's just really annoying because you could be in a like damage boost and all this right now. We're not getting out with Echo, which is fine. We just go and help Ashe. Really, really nice. I like this super jump. But with that super jump, I would have just stayed like stood on the high ground with the Bap. Go up with them. Go with them. Why are you rotating up with them? You do not need to be on this payload. You could just go up with them, right? It is so much more useful for your team if you are up taking this off angle with these guys, because then you are ready to fly in with your Echo if you need to, and you also hit a damage boost that's like dynamite like from the Ashe and just do bits, right? You do not need 3 people on the payload for this entire time. Like, you have these 2 that are very capable of pushing it in while, what's it called? I typed into Ashe's flanking, but I shouldn't have. I mean, if you're desperate to, like, tell people that, you need to, like, speak it. Because the unfortunate with console is that it's so hard, to type stuff out in chat with a controller. So it's, like, you can't, like, quickly do it. So you have to, like, if you want to, like, alert people of that, then you either have to use pings, or you have to, like, use your voice, basically. Like, it's really too long for you to do that. But speaking about this bit, you just need to be up with these guys. Because I feel as though you're, you're going to miss being out with these guys. Yes. We end up just being main. This should be damage boosting if you end up doing main. But the thing is, as soon as you can, you need to be trying to, like, rotate up to someone. Because your Ashe is not there to kind of help take that duel. Your Ashe is in such a good, like, opportunity here. Like, your Ashe has, like, how do I put it? Your Ashe has, like, an unfair advantage because you are there as Mercy. The only issue is that you are not allowing it to be that unfair advantage because you're not being active enough to help damage boost. What should happen is you should have just stayed up on this high ground here, damage boost your Echo and your Ashe. When your Echo goes and flies in and rotates round back to your team, that is fine. Leave her to it. Keep this pressure up on this high ground with your Ashe because this will basically mean that she should be able to obviously kill people around here. If she ends up getting pressured by this Genji, that's great. Nice res though, do not get me wrong. Nice damage boost again. Nice that obviously you realise you don't have res, this is really, really great. Same thing with the damage boost again, I just do a backwards GA. Ooh, okay. We do end up letting Ashe die again. But I think it's just that same thing again where it's like, you're very focused on your tank too much. Which I feel as though is you kind of coming from that like that Ana and Bap kind of play style. Go with your Echo. Ooh, okay. Nice res. Obviously under the cover and stuff like that. You're still super jumping up when you know that this Ashe will still be contested as high ground though. Like, please stop doing this like little like mini super jumps and find some like better cover, right? As the famous Neandra says, use super jump to reposition rather than positioning. Which basically means instead of using the super jump to try and get some like better positioning, because the 9 times out of 10 it won't be, use super jumps like this to reposition, to get yourself a better position. Don't use super jumps as your positioning. Alright? We'll keep going. Rest ends up just walking in using her ults. Ends up getting you all. Just unfortunate. Alright. We've got one last team fight left and we have ourselves an Echo, Duplicate, and our Zarya grab. Your Echoes are dying bad, like staggered, which is really like unfortunate. It basically means she's going to be out late. Because you can't res, because you don't have res. You don't have res. Yes. We just need to realise that. Obviously, you know the Ashe is above you guys, so just be careful. Josie's behind you. Okay. As soon as you know she's behind you like this, just GA in and go and commit with your Echo. Your Echo has ultimate, right? Your Echo essentially now will just want to be as aggressive as she can. And then if she gets into trouble, she just duplicates someone. And then we'll go in with that duplicate ultimate, right? This is the prime time for you to go in and be aggressive with your Echo. Because your Zarya is fine. Your Zarya, if she ever gets into trouble, she has a Bap. And she'll probably have like Soldier with her as well. Playing like down here. And you can simply just, what's it called? She can like basically grab people as well. Like if she needs to, right? So this is like prime opportunity for you to go in with your Echo. So she ends up duping Genji. You need to go in with her. And we don't go in with her. Okay. Nice pick. That's how you played away. Damage boost. Your Zarya is like fully like damage boost potential right here. Okay. Because she's not even losing her shields. You are absolutely fine to damage boost here. This will rip. Especially because I feel as though she's quite high charge. Like how much charge she got? Only 35. I thought she had more than that. But that's fine. It's perfect time for you to damage boost here. Nice. Oh, just that is not okay. Let's rewind this. Let's rewind this. Okay. I want to talk about this entire like scenario. Even before this, I want to talk about even before this. Right. So we know Ashe is behind us. We do not need to super jump up to it to put ourselves at risk. Okay. We need to be aggressive with the Echo. So we go aggressive with the Echo here. Right, we can damage boost. This is all damage boostable. We see that she's duped Genji, okay? We want to help try and get this blade as quick as possible. So what we do is as soon as our GA is on, like, with us, we can go in, we can damage boost, and we can basically fling ourselves over into this cover if we need to be away from this Ashe that's flanking. Ashe has already taken our soldier. She's going to have a really good angle. So we essentially just want to go in and come and help over here, all right? We end up kind of basically like falling a bit. I would have literally used that to go up. We get the Ashe. That's great. Awesome. But now you need to be helping with your team, which is exactly what you do. Okay. We get a little bit disorientated here because I feel as though you look to try and get this res off on this Bap here in a second. Oh, I'm at the wrong point. Oh, no, I am at the right point. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 100%. You should have just helped your Echo here. Damage boost his Echo. Come and do something for your Echo, alright? Because there is no way that you're going to res this Bap unless if you wipe this entire team right now, alright? So we end up going for the res, okay? We need to damage boost. This is full damage boost potential for your what's it called? Your Echo. We need to also help Bap, remember? Because we, obviously, if you res the Bap, you have to res the, you know, you have to look after him as well, which is why you need to heal him. Right, so we valve, which is nice. We're going to get the block out. Really nice track in there. We end up going a little bit further in. Just try not to tunnel vision too much. Like, this is a part where I feel as though you have tunnel vision a little bit. Like, it's cool, obviously, that you're coming in to come and help this Kiri. As soon as you, like, miss 2 or 3 shots, just come back and start damage boosting people. Because if you could damage boost this soldier, he can basically rip through these 2 people right now, okay? That's fine. We keep on going in. We'll go on. Nearly got it. Oh, okay. We end up overstaying our welcome a little bit, so you end up dying. Hi, hi everyone, sorry, it seemed like my internet just like crashed, which I'm guessing like it was warning me before with like the warning symbols and stuff, so I probably had to edit like a bit more like before this and stuff. We are back though, we have capped the first points after sadly like kind of like feeding just a tad like a little bit, but it's fine. We are back with the team now after switching spawns and stuff, which is great. And now we're essentially just kind of stood like basically waiting for our soldiers to move, which is really, really nice. So at this point, I would go with your soldier, which I think is what you're going to do. Oh, okay, we don't. I would literally just go with your soldier here. The reason is because your soldier nearly has visor. You can essentially just go up with your soldier here and very much take like a really aggressive angle with him. Sadly, you've ended up missing that opportunity, which is like a little bit annoying. But you would essentially just kind of go around with the soldier and take like a really aggressive angle with him. Alright? Because you can see, I can see you just like looking up being like, oh my goodness, like I missed him, you know? Got Kitsune Rush. Okay, we're not gonna help. Okay. In this scenario, you're not going to go and get to your Bastion like whatsoever because they pretty much Kitsune Rush onto him. This is not your fault. This is his bad positioning. Okay? Instead, you want to try and help the scenario by, well, what could we do? We can just beam someone instead. Put your beam on your Zarya, go and help your soldier on this like flank angle here. Just do something, because you just doing nothing trying to reach to him is going to do nothing in this scenario. So you essentially just want to kind of put a beam on someone and just start blue beaming basically. Instead of obviously blue beaming, we back away. I'm going to put it back on your view as well now while we do this. Really nice here. We just need to go in and go and help the soldier, which is what we're doing right now. Really, really nice. Love the heals. That's an opportunity where you have to just heal throughout the entire thing. You need to damage boost now though. Okay. So it's fine you're out healing the Life Weaver and stuff like that, because obviously, you know, your soldier was weak and stuff. But as soon as like he's finished that battle, you can then start to you can then start to damage boost some more. Alright? So we keep going. Obviously know that the soldier's there, which is great. Same with our soldier. Same thing again where you just don't want to hang about in these choke points. I would have literally, as soon as you kind of like see him like this, you've already registered he's there as well. So you can literally just like GA to the soldier and then just like GA yourself round here, okay? We'll keep going. Nice to your soldier. You don't want to come in though. You want to try and just stay away as much as you can. Oh, okay, we're going into the Life Weaver again. Nice. Don't get me wrong, like your aim's really good. Ooh. Okay, your aim is really good. I will say that. It's just, it's getting you like picked off quite a few times because you end up doing stuff where, don't get me wrong, like, you know, get the Glock out is good and stuff like that. And you should do it if you have the aim for it and you feel as though you can get a pick. But doing so is making you really, really like disorientated, alright? So let's just quickly rewatch all this, okay? In this scenario, which you did well obviously because you ended up going around, obviously to hug this wall, I would have literally just GA'd this like soldier and kind of bring yourself around to this side. The reason is then you have the opportunity to damage boost both of these guys, and you can also like, your Bap can still obviously help your like Zarya here, and she can also like pop in and out as what's called, like help heal the Zarya, right? So it gives you this opportunity. Don't try and force yourself into like a really bad position, which is exactly what you're doing right now, just to try and put your beam on someone. Use a GA instead, right? So essentially just GA to your Zarya and come around here, and then you can start helping people here. Because you like just walking through, like I know obviously you have Lamp and stuff like that, but Lamp, even though yes it does make you immortal, but you have to think after the Lamp is finished, you're not going to be immortal anymore. You're going to be at that 50 HP. I think it's like 50 HP now that you get left out. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, it's like you're going to be left with basically such a minuscule amount of HP that one tap can just kill you, basically. So you want to, instead of just wandering about, waltzing about out like this, just rotate round. You can hug this wall because obviously if this Bob kind of hooks onto you, you just break all the rest of him. Just stay around here and then keep on damage boosting people like this. Alright? So we're kind of rotating around. Soldier dies, that's not your fault. He just waltzes in kind of thing. It's alright, I would start damage boosting here. We end up going in with the Life Weaver, which is really, really great. Don't get me wrong. Really, really good pick, okay? We now, as soon as you've got this pick, you have to basically just take a breather and think to yourself, okay, what do I do now? You have to kind of think to yourself, because you're a high rank player. You know, like, ult tracking and stuff like that, right? You now just have to think to yourself, what ults are they going to have? They're going to have this Zarya, sorry, the Orisa ult, stuff like that still, right? Plus, you also have to remember, you've just capped the objective. There is absolutely no need for you to come and res this soldier here, because he has obviously his little sprinty legs, so we can get back really, really quickly. And it's just a risky res where you just don't need to do it, when you can literally just put your Glock away at this point and just put your beam on your Zarya. Your Zarya can essentially just beam these two guys, and you can just stay back here to avoid yourself from being pulled into this aggressor role, alright? So and basically what happens is you basically rush as soon as like you're, what's it called? You just rush yourself as soon as like the soldier like dies. You very much kind of rush yourself, like, sorry, as soon as you finish killing. And it's like, oh, let me go and res, and you just end up like being absolutely destroyed. This would have easily just been a kind of like rollover for your team if you just stayed with the damage boost here and damage boosted your Zarya and helps everyone, right? You have to remember that soldier gets back really, really quick, and you've just got the new spawn. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Get bubbled, which is nice. Okay, this is a bad decision. This is a really big stagger by you. Okay, let's talk this through. Right. Your soldier is at fault here, right? Because he's just going in by himself. If you want to help him, you do not stay here and try to peek this angle. Because look how many people are looking at you from this angle. If you want to try and help him, come this way and come and try and help him. Now, this is 100% his fault if he gets picked off, because, you know, you're basically just trying to come in and try and salvage the situation, right? So you trying to rotate through here and then trying to get him as soon as he dies, this is now your fault for coming in and dying here, right? So you essentially, if you want to try and help, you come around this way, okay? So what happens? I'm going to try and like do it kind of like at the same speed. So we end up halting a bit. Imagine if we carried on walking. Okay, we won't be able to get there. But hey, guess what? We have not made the decision to come and GA round yet. We have essentially just tried getting our way there as safe as we can. Oh no, he's died. Whatever shall we do? Oh, look. Zarya's here. Blue beam. And we just wait for the regroup. It's just really unfortunate that he staggered himself. And then you do the exact same thing. Because although you used your cover really, really nicely, and obviously you got this bubble and stuff, you then just basically, as soon as you get that bubble, you then need to try and get yourself out. Which is what you do end up doing. And then you end up like basically getting picked off at the end of the GA. Right? This is all pretty much your fault by not thinking of this extra angle here to try and like get round to, alright? So just try to think of the safest route that you can to try and get somewhere, okay? It's fine. Come back out, see what we can do. Nice. I would have just GA'd just fully like underneath the cover and stuff. Same thing again, we're not using our cover, we're just walking out, right? In this scenario, you essentially just want to GA. When like your Zarya's pushing up like this, you want to GA and come around here. So that you can like damage all these guys here. And then as you kind of push forward some more, you can GA and you can hold this cover here. As Mercy, you should never ever want to be stood out like randomly in the open, okay? But we'll keep going. We have our Valk, which is really, really good. I'd be pushing with your soldier here, because this happens on a lot of maps. I've spoken of this quite a lot recently. There are certain points in payload maps or like hybrid maps where the cart will move itself, or there is something where the cart can't move, right? So for example, there is like this point, there is also icon walls, both for the castle doors and also the bridge door as well. You can pretty much leave the payload by itself to open up its own like entranceway kind of thing, and you can go forward and push up. You should, in this scenario, be pushed up with your soldier. If you can stagger this Orisa or stagger this Kiriko, this is huge for your team. This makes the last fight, especially because it's not really going to be too much of a last fight, because normally it gets a little bit more feisty and stuff when the payload kind of gets more to around like here it stopped, or like even like at the end. Because the payload stopped here, if you get a stagger off here, this is really like big for your team. So if you push forward with your soldier here, while this payload is what I consider in AFK mode because you can't push it, then you should, you should literally just be in with your team, okay? But we keep going. End up helping our Bastion, which is fine. Look, your soldier has to get picked off because you're not there with him. Nice res. I would have flicked that though, like to be more like against the wall on the just in case you decide to push in a little bit more, so you're not fully out in the open. Same with the damage boost, use damage boost. Nice Valk, so when they're coming in. Nice. Oh, okay, okay. We're being very aggressive. Oh, okay. I don't know how you did not get picked off for that entire thing. Because I'm not glad the aim was a little bit rough there. Whenever someone vises, just don't contest it. Like, just stay out of the way. Like, literally just use your cover a little bit more, alright? So, Lucas, what have we learned? We have learnt that whoever should be your main blue beam target is not your be-all and end-all. Try to kind of flick that damage boost between multiple people. No, I mean, fair enough, Lucas. But yeah, no, we now need to basically remember that whoever we need to main blue beam isn't the be-all and end-all, right? We should try and kind of balance that blue beam between the rest of our team at certain points if we can. And don't put yourself in a bad scenario if your DPS has put yourself into a bad scenario. It was very apparent with the soldier, like when he went in by himself, but it was a little bit more apparent with, say, the Echo on your first point of your attack, where you're trying to kind of like link up with her. You literally do not need to. You could just stand there and just damage boost someone else and wait for her to finish off whatever she's doing, and then you can bring back and link back up with her, okay? So there's little things like that. Positioning wise, it was I feel as though it kind of fell apart a little bit more towards the end. At the beginning, it was really good with your positioning. We just need to kind of work that positioning a little bit more so it's a little bit more safer than what it was. And don't be spamming that super jump, right? Just say, like, only use it if you want to try and reposition yourself, alright? Don't be using it as, like, just constantly spamming it and stuff like that, alright? I think Rez's, apart from, obviously, that one with the Aristobal, I think they were fine from what I remember. Valk seemed to be of like really good timing as well and pushed a lot of damage boost. Yeah, the other thing as well, Lucas, is your damage boost, right? You need to start getting out of the habit of trying to heal everyone up to full HP before you damage boost. Because there are so many points where you can just flick the damage boost on a little bit more and then do that. For the tips, I have like 2 hours on Mercy. I love it, Lucas. I mean, to be fair, to say you only have like 2 hours on Mercy, it's really good Mercy already so far. Like, if you just brush up on your movement a little bit more in like certain points, and just remember, just like with Mercy, it's all like kind of like game sensey stuff. And unfortunately, with Mercy, a lot of the time your aim can't carry you, unlike a lot of like other characters can if you have good aim but bad like game sense and stuff like that. With Mercy, it's all game sense. So you just have to apply your game sense for what you know from obviously playing your DPS and obviously playing other supports and stuff like that to learn that. But yeah, Lucas, hopefully that helps. Once again, thank you so much to all you guys on YouTube as well on Twitch that have been chilling out and watching this. Once again, you can get your VOD views. They offer 5,000 channel points. I do them usually on Mondays, and then I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, where you guys can simply just hop in and obviously earn the channel points. All the VODs are for free, as you know, I always believe with like free educational content. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!